In the morning light, I'm chasing dreams, navigating through the office streams. Deadlines looming, emails piling high, wondering if I'm reaching for the sky or just passing by. The world outside, it's a swirling storm, chaos in the streets, a daily norm. But inside my mind, I'm seeking peace, a way to balance, a moment to seize. Careers, chaos, and coaching too. Finding the path, what else can we do? Observing closely, learning as we go. Making decisions, let our wisdom show. Through the storms and the calm, we'll find our way. With every challenge, we'll learn to say, we've got the strength, we've got the grace to face the world and find our place. Upon meetings, voices in my head, strategies and plans, where do they lead instead? I take a breath, step back to see the bigger picture, what's meant to be. Coaching sessions, a guiding light, helping me focus, setting things right. With every word, a new perspective gained. In the game of life, it's not about the pain. Careers, chaos, and coaching too. Finding the path, what else can we do? Observing closely, learning as we go. Making decisions, let our wisdom show. Through the storms and the calm, we'll find our way. With every challenge, we'll learn to say, we've got the strength, we've got the grace to face the world and find our place. Quiet moments, I find my voice. In the chaos, I make my choice to lead with kindness, to act with care, to be the change, to show I'm aware. Careers, chaos, and coaching too. Finding the path, what else can we do? Observing closely, learning as we go. Making decisions, let our wisdom show. Through the storms and the calm, we'll find our way. With every challenge, we'll learn to say, we've got the strength, we've got the grace to face the world and find our place.
Well, happy new year, everyone, and welcome back to Careers, Chaos, and Coaching. Today is January, what is today? January what? January 11th, 2026. And Melissa Houston and I are back for another season, another year of Careers, Chaos, and Coaching. Good morning, Houston. How are you? And Happy New Year.
Oh, is it a Happy New Year, guys? I want to know in the comments. Let me know right now, because I feel like it's a chaotic New Year. However, I'm excited to be here to talk about it. We got some really cool people already in the audience. And yeah, 111. What a lineup. I'm a big fan of numbers repeating. And so I got to look up what that means, because I'm a woo-woo kind of girl sometimes, just part-time for fun on the weekends. But Felipe, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad to be doing this. And I'm glad we're going to show them what this means, right? Like what it means to show up on LinkedIn in spite of life maybe not kicking off exactly the way we want it to. So thanks for letting me join you on the stage today.
Well, I'm grateful to have you in my life, my friend, because you have helped me along the way when I needed it. And hopefully I've provided you some help along the way. But, you know, it's great to see so many people in the chat already. Leanna, it's great to see you. Our buddy Aaron, who's on YouTube. Thank you, Aaron. We have Sean joining us. Stephen Eng, it's great to see you back as always. And Jay, buenos dias, ¿cómo estás? Thank you for joining. Adrian's here. Great to see Adrian. Leslie Flowers is in the house. Lisa Fevick's here. We got the whole crew back already, Melissa. It's great to see everyone here. John Werner's here. So welcome, everyone. You know, Melissa and I have been talking a lot over the holidays. Hopefully everyone had a good holiday. The holiday seasons can be a lot of fun. It can be sad. It can be a lot. But New Year's brings a lot of exciting things sometimes. I know that New Year's can be a time for, you know, new resolutions, new hopes, new dreams, but sometimes chaos ensues whether you like it or not. the world right now, we're not going to get into politics or world stuff, but there's a lot of crazy stuff happening. So it can impact us. But today we want to talk about what's going well for you this New Year's, or what challenges have you had already on day 11 of the new year, because the reality is life's not perfect and we're going to get curveballs. Um, and basically, we wanted to really just have a chance to give back, share some insight, but also have a little bit of fun and a little chaos in there for good measure, and maybe do a few, little fun, not games, but little like what do you call them, polls, if you will. We want to get your insight on certain things, because there are certain things that Melissa and I will disagree about in the background. It's something as silly as, do you put ketchup or mustard on a hot dog? I mean, that to me, I grew up always putting ketchup, and then I'd add mustard too. I'd add both. But there's this whole debate. No, it's ketchup or mustard. And I'm like, why is that even a debate? So let
Just
me.
keep the relish offline. That's so gross.
Oh,
So
see,
gross.
why do you have to add extra?
Because it's the chaos we're talking about, guys. That's what he said.
Yeah.
But Felipe, let's do our intros and let's get going. Let's get them started. Look at this energy. Also, um, Aaron, what the heck are you talking about? I'm in my messages. I see nothing. So hit send or do something. Yeah. Okay.
All right, I need to check my messages too. But all right. Well, let us know about your taste about mustard or ketchup on a hot dog. But let's do some introductions and let people know who we are in case they haven't had a chance to meet us. So, Houston, please introduce yourself and tell us how your new year has started.
Hey guys, it's Melissa Houston here. If we are not friends yet, I am the cultivator of dreams, motivator of human capital. And what that means is I help people like you figure out what's next. Sometimes that's a new job, sometimes that's cleaning up your life as a whole, sometimes it's time management and LinkedIn and Canva and how to use that for your business. Really depends on my client. But you can learn more about the services I offer at documentthenact.com. It's the premise in which I think all success lies. We focus on fun and passion in my coaching. We use Venn diagrams, crayons, color, fun, elementary education concepts. So you're not really learning new stuff. You're learning how to use the same old stuff in a new way, which makes it more efficient. So if you want to learn more, message me. Felipe, back to you. Oh wait, I was supposed to tell you
No,
about
I
my
was
year.
put my headphones on. I was going to
Oops,
show
he
you.
wanted more time. Oh, also, guys, my year. I am excited about 2026, but I'm going to be honest, I'm still holding on to some of that stink of 2025. I don't know what else to call it. What I've been focusing on is recovering my life after separation. My husband and I were together for 18 years. A few days after our 18th anniversary together, our marriage ended in domestic violence. He was arrested, he was removed from the home. There's an order of protection in place, and I am safe. But it very much ended our relationship, and that is going to be the way I kick off my 2026. And so, as much as I would love to say, oh, this is a new year, new me, and all of that, I still have stuff to carry, right? It's not like, hey, the resolution cured it all, and I can just get a to do list and figure it out. Exactly, but it is. I have paperwork to fill out. I need to file with the court. I need to figure out what's next for Melissa. I need to get clear with myself about what future me looks like without that extra circle involved, right? And so that's kind of what I'm focusing on. I am really excited to see what that means for me. When the world erases your dry erase board, all the things you've been taking notes on, everything you think you have as a plan, when they erase it, the coolest part is starting fresh. You're not held to any of those former notes because they're not there anymore. And so for me, I have no idea where it's going to take me. Truthfully, the sky's the limit. I could be jet setting in 6 months. I could be, still here in my little house writing books with my friends. I'm just not sure, but I'm excited about figuring it out. Felipe, back to you.
Thank you, Melissa. And for those of you that I haven't had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Felipe Cofino. I'm an HR executive. I'm a LinkedIn Top Boys. Most recently, I am a author of a children's book, Miranda and Max, available on Amazon. And we're getting ready to drop the Spanish version, I think, today, because we've been having issues with the barcode, and Nick and I have been going back and forth. But other than that, I am also a career coach and founder of Cofino Consulting, which I'm going to be a little bit vulnerable here and transparent about what's happening with me on this new year. Because on let's see, January 5th, I was having a great year, and it was starting off wonderful. And I had a really good heart to heart with my CEO. And anyone that's heard me talk about the past year at my job knows that we've had to do a lot of layoffs. We've had to lay off 65% of our staff over the past year because of certain changes in the administration and funding for nonprofits and for US aid and things of that sort. We had a long talk, and we're down to a staff of 20 employees. A staff of 20 employees doesn't need an HR executive. So my job is going to be eliminated at the end of February. It's a reality. It's a business thing. They kept me on because I've helped them with a lot of other areas, and it's been a pleasure and an honor to help them. I wanted to help them because what they were doing was amazing work. So I am back on the job search. I do have some things I'm doing through Cofino Consulting. I do have some training set up already that I'm doing in February. I have some coaching I'm doing, some HR services I'm recruiting for somebody. So if you have anybody that needs services, send them to me. I do have my email at felipe@cofinoconsulting.org. But also, it's life. It's life happens. Things happen. I have my faith that helps me. I have my family and my LinkedIn family. And I'm really grateful for that. I got to tell you, because the last time I went through a job search years ago, I didn't have as much of this. So I'm feeling very confident. I'm feeling very curious, grateful, compassionate, and tenacious as shit. I'll say it. So with that being said, in case any of you know of any great opportunities for HR directors that you think might benefit from my skills, feel free to DM me. I'd be happy to entertain it. But I would be remiss if I didn't share my YouTube channel that is growing. I am doing a lot there to really highlight the work I do, the work that I do with Melissa and I do with other people. I do the Workplace Wellness Hour on Mondays, Social Saturday Chat on Saturdays, and then this show here that is just one of my favorite shows because we do a lot to give back, and it is relevant and real. So
I have to just say, one, I am so proud of you for telling the world. Both of us, we had talked about this, guys. I want to just say it, Felipe. I was like, what the hell is the point in you and I doing the show if we can't do this now, right? Like, if we can't lead by example in this moment, what are we doing? And so when we were talking about the premise of the show, I was like, let's go tell them the truth. Let's say what all the other coaches haven't yet. It's shit happens. Life goes on anyway, whether you're ready or not. And so it just solidifies what we're doing here and how we're going to act now that it's here, right? The crap hit the fan. Felipe, now what do we do, right? And we talked about that too. It's tapping into the networks we've built, taking our own medicine, as Aaron Gibson would say. You coach yourself on all the things you know how to coach. And when that doesn't work, we call each other, and we have. And that's something we wanted to cover in this is like your network on LinkedIn is fun. It's great to be a top voice. Felipe says it all the time. I love having 15,000 followers, people who show up to read my content. But the value is in being able to reach out and say, hey, it's hard, help. And that's the part that people don't always do. And Felipe, like, can you just tell them maybe what your first steps were when you got the news? Like, how did you handle that moment? Because I had been there, guys. I don't know if you've been following, but I had been laid off when a client passed away from leukemia. I didn't know he had some complications. And it was right after my mom died. Started another business. That one closed without warning because we ran out of funding right at the end. And it's just one of those things that can happen to you. But Felipe, what was your path? What did you do?
Well, let me share my path, and then I'm going to share Felipe's 5 for you and I discuss, and then we're going to invite people up. So first thing I did was, I'll be honest, I took a day to like just process it and just tell my wife, tell my kids, and just sit with it. And people call it grieving, mourning. I just processed it and just let myself be pissed off, sad, upset, confused, whatever, and then what I did was I did something different than I did last time. Last time I sat for 2 months just throwing my resume out at everything that I thought might be an opportunity. I didn't send my resume to anybody to look at it because I'm an HR guy. I see resumes all the time, right? Um, and I also wasn't taking my own advice. I was just reacting. And then about 2 months in, I realized, why am I not taking my own advice? And all of a sudden, things started changing for the better. So I'm sharing that with you because this time I did at the end of day one, I went ahead and reached out to all those recruiters, headhunters, all the people that I had worked with before to help me find an opportunity. And I let them know that, hey, here's my situation. I'm going to be actively looking. I'm looking by February, and they all responded already. So I already had that moving. I reached out to people in LinkedIn, like Melissa and a few of the people, let them know. I updated my resume to add things that I've changed. In the past 2 years, I've created an AI policy. I've implemented AI. I've trained it to AI. So these are skills that are valuable that if I don't share them, people aren't going to know about it. So, and then I really thought about, what do I want to do? And that's where continuing consulting is something that I always said I wanted to do as I retire and continue doing. So what am I doing to level that up to make sure that that's sustainable? And then really sat down and thought about, what do I want in my life today? What kind of job do I want? What matters? And one of the things I realized is the title, I don't care about the title anymore. The title is not what I'm driving for. I'm driving for a job where I can do what I do best, that has a good culture, and provides me good pay. Those are my driving things right now, because the title at the end of the day, if that's the only thing that's a hiccup, then who cares? I can move on with that. Now, I want to share some things that I put down that help me go through this. All right. And Melissa, I just want to talk about them one by one real quick, and then we'll get into your insights here and invite people up. Okay. But here's some things that help stay grounded when chaos disrupts your plan. And mindset, emotional regulation, and resilience is key in all of this. Okay. So I want you all to think about that. Now, the first one here is name disruption. Figure out what it is, because avoiding reality and trying to pretend it's not happening just increases your stress. So figure out what it is. Whatever, if it's family, health, job, whatever it is, put it, because you can't manage what you don't acknowledge. Houston, any thoughts about this here? Because I think this is like, if you don't
First step is clarity, right? Guys,
yeah,
I agree. That's my first step, is get clear on the problem. Yeah. And so him saying this, name the disruption, same concept. You just got to know what's wrong. Are you hangry? Are you mad? Are you tired? Is it something external that you're not in control of but can remove yourself from, kind of thing? Yeah. Love it.
all right. Next one here is separate feelings from facts. Okay, your emotions are valid, but they can't drive every decision. You can't stay in that feeling. Like Melissa says, feel them, sit with them, get angry, get all that, but move past them, and then separate yourself and think about the facts. What do I need to do? Okay, I need to get my resume together. I need to get my contacts together. I need to get my medical stuff together. I need to get my finances together. Whatever it is, focus on the facts. And because when you start thinking about, oh my God, how am I going to feel when I do this? Oh my God, what's going to happen when? Don't do the what ifs. Stick on the facts. Ground yourself before you act. Because if you act without based on emotion, a lot of times we make mistakes. Houston.
I I love this one. This is for me the documentation phase, right? I'm writing down, I need to process my emotions on paper. For me, that's something I learned about myself a long time ago, because I have so many. And so to get them clear, I need to write them out. But the other part of this for me in my moment of chaos is, I've loved my husband. That is something that my choices didn't change that environment that day. And so I had to separate that part of myself from the facts. And so really, depending on what life brings you guys, there's a lot of ways this moment can play out. But sometimes we love chocolate cake while we're diabetic. And so understanding want versus need is really important. And when you put it on paper, when you get clear, when you sit down and process the feelings and facts separately, it really helps a lot.
And an analogy of that is, think about when someone's like comes to you and you're in the middle of like finishing an important work project or paying the bills, and a kid or somebody's like, "Hey, let's play ball. Let's watch this show. Let's watch this thing." It's like, hold on, I can't have fun right now. I need to focus and finish this first. It's an analogy, y'all. It's just saying separate, you know, an emotion from what you need to do, and once you finish what you need to do, then you can sit with that emotion. You can have that fun. You can have that cry. You can have what you need. All right, the next one here: protect your energy. Chaos is exhausting. Emotions can be exhausting. Don't forget about the importance of sleep, but don't sleep too much, y'all. Don't be staying in bed just because you don't have anything to do. Movement is the number two thing. And I'll tell you, my 93-year-old mother, who runs around this house like she is freaking Energizer Bunny, is because she goes to PT twice a week just for movement. She stays active. She moves around. This is something that helps her mental health and her body. And then thirdly, boundaries. These are requirements, but anyone that knows me knows I'll say the same thing. The biggest violator of our boundaries are ourselves. We set these boundaries and say, okay, I'm not going to do this, and I'm not going to do anything until 3 o'clock. And then someone's like, oh, can you help me with this project real quick? Oh, sure, I can help you. No, you just violated your own boundary by saying you're going to help somebody. What you should have done is saying, hey, you know what? I'm happy to help. Let me finish this. I'll be done by 3, and I'll be in your office at 3, or I'll call you at 3. Respect your boundaries, and then the other thing about boundaries is communicate them. Don't get pissed off at people. Oh, hi Lulu. Hi Popper. Sorry, they just came in and just went crazy. All right, go outside, go. All right, they're gone. Sorry about that. You don't see the dogs, but you can hear them. All right, so the last thing about boundaries is this: is that communicate them to people, because if you don't tell me what your boundary is and I cross it, you can't get mad at me because I didn't know. So it's important for you to say, hey guys, listen, from 3 to 4, I just don't come in my room. I'm focusing on something. I don't want to be interrupted. Or, hey, you know what? I really am trying to have a dry January. Can we just try to limit how much wine we have in the house? Whatever it is, communicate it. Houston, your thoughts?
Oh, ha, guys, I have been accused of being the boundary B word or something sometimes. Not really, but maybe they should put it on the business card. Um, my energy is my life source. I don't know about you as a human, but if I run out of it and the heart can't pump, I'm out of luck, right? It's like running out of gas. And so the very first thing I do is put a locking gas cap on my car. Same goes with internal. I have boundaries. I have lost very good friendships recently since August over my boundaries. And it's unfortunate. But when I am in, and this was survival mode for me when I was resting and under the radar and trying to process everything that just happened to me as a survivor of domestic violence for a second time. It happened when I was younger. So a lot of trauma repeated, a lot of chaos ensued inside of me. And Felipe and I have discussed this. You guys probably know this, but if I feel like I'm getting rattled to the point where you're not going to find the bubbly Melissa Mr. Rogers would approve of, I put myself in timeout. And the boundaries can be your own, right? Protecting your energy can mean you unplug from the world and you go into rest mode. That is your choice to do. And if people can't respect your withdrawal from society to go power up, um, respect their need to depart, because boundaries aren't negotiable. They can be discussed, but your boundaries are in place for a reason. And if they don't understand the reason, we can discuss it. However, I don't need to remove it to make you feel better if it's not cutting you unless you step into my boundary, right? It's very much like barbed wire, guys. Boundaries only hurt if you're pushing on somebody's. If you can respect them, they will open the gate for you and you won't even get cut. And so I would say if people push into your boundaries and are upset at you for their bleeding, acknowledge why they're bleeding. Tell them, well, you shouldn't have stepped into the barbed wire. I'm sorry that happened. You should step back. And do the same for yourself. If you're pushing into somebody else's boundaries, you're tapping into something that hurts you. Ask yourself why. Step back. Figure out. Protect it. Figure out why the gas is leaving the tank. That's where I'm at, Felipe.
I love it. That was such great insight there you shared. I hope people took some notes. I have a very important question though for you, Houston. You said sometimes you put yourself in timeout, and I had an epiphany. I'm like, wait, can I put Houston in timeout? I just had this visual of this image of
You could try.
Melissa's in timeout, and I can mute her and put up the image. Okay, sorry, Melissa was misbehaving. I put her in timeout.
Oh, I wish I could. Honestly, it would be fun if the audience could mute the person they didn't want to hear, but I think it would be like where it would be turned on and off. Like you get to mute the person for 5 seconds, but then you can't use it again for so long, so it's not just mean, right?
I feel like your team would mute me a lot. I don't know why.
Ooh, that's a good poll. Who would you mute right now in this moment? Or at all?
No, don't
That's the chaos. That's the chaos. No, genuinely, guys, I hope you're learning, feeling, aligning with the messaging right now. If you've lost a job, how did you overcome it, right? If you've been in a relationship, whether it's family, friends, work related, where you had to set boundaries to protect yourself, we would love to hear from you too. We want to open the stage to you guys. We want to make sure that this is honest. We would love it to be a fresh conversation. We don't want to repeat the same, advice we've given because you guys know that stuff. Yeah. And so we would ask if you've shared the story before, maybe choose a different one this time, just because we're here to do it differently. That is the one thing Felipe and I agree on. A new to-do list brings new results. You can't do the same old thing and expect new results. And so even something as simple as Felipe sending me his resume, I am the worst person to be soft and gentle about it with Felipe. I'm going to be honest. It's only really him, who maybe a little bit of Aaron too, his brother.
I want real and hard facts and honest opinions.
Correct. But when he sent me the resume, I was like, okay, cool. Here are two things that popped for me. One of them, I will point out, was the summary. I was like, it doesn't do you any justice. And truthfully, as an HR person, it's fine. As a recruiter, it would be okay. It would check the box. But as his friend, somebody who understands him, who has worked with him, who has seen him inside, outside, in the back room, sharing personal experiences, how he's overcome things we don't discuss, and vice versa, right? He knows what I was dealing with without you guys knowing. We have insight that could tell a story about each other in a way that most humans don't honor themselves in that storytelling. The reason the resume is so hard is because we're taught not to talk about ourselves. We're taught not to highlight our good. Sit down, you're being big-headed. Sit down, you're being a brag about. Sit down, nobody cares, right? You're doing it for attention. And so when it comes to resume, it's the contrary behavior system to everything you've ever been taught. And so how do you highlight yourself? Well, heck, half the time I don't even know what I did in a job, right? I did everything, Felipe. I was the managing director in the role. There was no piece I didn't touch. How do I articulate that in a way that makes sense to the world? I'm not great at that. For me. For you, yes. For me, no. And so sharing that, I'm going to be able to give him that feedback of what I would like his summary to say if I were able to write it for him, because I know Felipe. And so having that kind of friendship network, people you trust who have different mindsets, perspectives, experiences, to be able to come in and just add that overlapping circle of their own to give you feedback can change the game. Even as something as simple as sharing jobs from different sides of the country, algorithms, job search criteria, it can change the game. Sorry, Felipe, go ahead.
And it's up to you to reach out to your network. Don't expect them to reach out to you. You got to reach out. And sometimes that means you got to be vulnerable. All right, let's finish up these last two here. 4, shift away from, this is important, you all. This is so important. Shift away from why me to what now. Okay. Yes, you can talk about why me, why this happened to me, why not someone else, but guess what? That's not going to move you forward. So Ask yourself, why me? Sit in the grief, sit in the sadness, and then shake it off and ask yourself, what now? What am I going to do now? Not what am I going to worry about now? What am I going to think about now? What action am I going to do now? Write it down, have that list, and that is going to give you confidence because then you have a plan. So think about it. Why me keeps you stuck? What now moves you forward? So I have a list of the contacts I was reaching out to. I had a list of the things that I wanted to do. I had a list of things I still needed to do. And then I had a list of jobs, industries, and things that I wanted to think about that I hadn't thought about before. And then I have my master list that just says, okay, here's the order I'm going to do stuff in. So that gives me confidence of, oh crap, what's going to happen to, I know what's going to happen. I'm going to do the things on the list. So Houston.
I love it. It's that victory and victim mindset, right? Victory and victim both start out the same. It's up to you how it ends. If you write it down, every moment of your life starts out with that choice. And so going from why me to what now is huge. The who, what, where, when, why. Like who's coming with me? Who do I need to reach out to? I love to do all of those. But then the how. How comes after who, what, where, when, why. And when you get the how figured out, it's easy. I can travel the world right now without hesitation if I have Google Maps with me and I know that I'm going to have internet to get it done, right? Satellite. If I have signal, I can go. I have the resources. If I don't have a map, I'm not leaving my house to go pick up pizza. I'll be honest with you. I hesitate to even drive across my own town. And so when you think about what you need to get started, instead of saying, why me, what now? What do I need to do? It really changes everything. And then you become empowered and getting your power back, whether you feel like somebody else took it, the employer let you go, the husband who got aggressive, the courts even telling me where I can be right now or what I have, the speed in which I can move. They have time frames and all of these things, right? It can feel like you have less control over life. But the truth is I can deal with everything but those things. And I'm always in that position. Before this chaos, I was still only in control of a certain percentage of my life, and everything else was up to the rest of society around me. And so just remembering that when it gets hard, it's not new. It's just you're focused on the fact that you're not in control of the one thing you want to control in that moment. And that is a game changer.
Absolutely. All right. Moving on to our last one here. Number 5, and we talked about this already a little bit, but lean on support. You have your network, you have your friends, you have your family, you have other colleagues maybe. Lean on that support. Don't isolate. Don't sit by yourself at home in bed, just sad about it. You got to get moving, and you got to reach out to those people that said, hey, if you ever need help, let me know. I'm happy to help out. Reach out to them. Okay, you don't need to navigate this chaos alone. There's coaches, there's community, there's conversations, stabilizers. Don't focus on the weaknesses. Really just make sure that you remember there's people out there that are willing to help, and you just need to reach out and lean on that, because I know that Houston's helped me out when I needed it. Sumana has been there for me when I needed it. Mac has been there when I needed it. There's so many people that I can reach out to, that I know I can just be my vulnerable self, ask for help or ask to have someone listen or get advice, and they'll be there for me. But again, that's my choice to reach out to them and lean on them versus isolate. Because trust me, guys, I get it. I'm not going to have this job in February. I could easily just stay in bed and just be sad about it and just watch TV and just eat junk food and not think about it and try to avoid it. But that's not going to do me or anyone good. All that's going to do is build up my stress and build up the chaos, and it's going to explode. And that's
And
why
it's going to make me come drop an elbow on your freaking furniture. Michelle would be in my DMs. She wouldn't let it happen either.
she, when I told my wife some of the things that Melissa was telling me, and she's like, I've been telling you that before. Why didn't you listen to me? I'm like, I do listen to you. It's just Melissa's a little bit
No,
tougher.
you don't. You don't listen. You don't believe in misophonia when she says it, but when I say it now, it's a thing.
Well, no,
No,
it's like,
I agree with her.
she says it with love and sweetness, and
I'm
you
gonna
say
kick you
it
in
with
here. Stand
love.
your hands for her.
So,
But here, you know what? Honestly, what I love about this is sometimes, guys, you can hear it from people you love a ton. You can hear it from your team that's always there. But it's when the new player from the other team comes in from a different perspective and says, dude, on the other team, we did this. Why are you guys doing it this way? And it might have been said once or twice in the locker room, but nobody heard it because it was just the passing of a team. You guys always spitball together, and it's not really one of those, no, let's anchor in and have this talk. And so, me, I'm aggressive. She might let it go because she loves him. I love him too, but I want to fight. I want to argue with him. That's part of the chaos of the show. And I'm like, wait, I have a different perspective. Can I tell you?
well, let's
The
be honest.
truth is, we
Is it,
all need that. I called him for the same thing.
well, I appreciate that, but it's like having that child that the parents told them a million times and they don't listen, and all of a sudden the aunt or uncle come in and said, "Hey, why don't you do this? It's really cool." And they're like, "Oh, okay." And the parents like, "What the hell? I've been telling them that for like months."
I, I
Like,
thought you were going to talk about those shorts where I see like the mom saying, come on, get out of the car. Come on, get out of the car. And then the older siblings like just picking the kid up by the backpack and pulling him out to take him to school. I thought, because that's kind of what I feel like is the sibling who's like, mom, I got this. And I just push you to the car and let's go. Um, but anyway, now, guys, I hope this resonates with you. Tell us what number was your favorite if you remember. And if not, go follow Felipe because he shares this stuff on his profile. It will be there. I know it will be.
well, and I want to get the last one. Say hello to a few people in the chat, and then welcome our first guest on stage here. So the last slide here is take action. We talked about this. Ground yourself. Grounding yourself helps you adapt without losing direction. So in the chat, let us know which of these do you think you need the most help with right now. Just throw it in there. It doesn't mean that you might have massive chaos, but when you do have chaos, which one of these five really are the ones that you think you need the most right now? And feel free to save this. I will post this as a carousel after today. And the last thing I'll say about this that I just want to share is there's one word I want you all to remember, and it's gonna sound a little bit fluffy, but it's not. The word's forgiveness. Um, don't take this word lightly. If you don't take anything else away, take this away. Forgive the people that wronged you. If it's an employer, if it's a friend, if it's a family member, a loved one, a stranger, forgive them because you are going to have a much harder time moving forward if you don't forgive and get past it. Doesn't mean you need to forget. I always say it's okay to forgive, just don't forget. Keep your eyes wide open in the future and don't be naive. But forgiveness helps you move past it. It might help them too, whether they deserve it or not, but you deserve it. So, with that being said, I want to say
I,
hello to my friends.
I do want to just add something to that. I love what you just said there, especially in my position, guys. I can forgive. Forgetting is not going to be an easy thing. But the other thing is, forgiveness does not equal returning to former positions that you were in. Even if you forgive your best friend for sleeping with your boyfriend or something, right? I don't know, just came to mind. I'm thinking Jerry Springer right now. Just because you forgave them and you are releasing the anger and you're gonna, understand that maybe it was an accident or however they explained it, does not mean they come back to that role again as best friend and that you're going to invite them to the next wedding, right? And so having boundaries plus forgiveness is allowed. They are not mutually exclusive. They actually overlap a ton if you allow them to.
Absolutely. And I just want to say hello to Sajit Kumar and Jay who joined us, Greg Liverpool, King Property Dealer International, Adrian Copper and Lulu are saying hello back. They're barking right now. And Sumana, my friend, yeah, I love that you're here. And she gives some great insight here. Protect your damn peace, she says. I love that. She also says, reach out for therapy. And I'm glad she mentioned that because, look, we're not therapists, we're not doctors, we're not medical professionals. We're sharing what's worked for us. If you are in a situation where you can't get out of this pit that you're in, you can't do the things that we're suggesting, then you need more help. And that's okay. There's no shame in that. Many people get therapy. Some need it for a short season, some need it ongoing. It doesn't matter. It's what you need. You deserve it. So thank you for mentioning that, Shumana. And Leanna, I love that you said you love what's now. That what's now is important, y'all. What are you going to do now? Stop thinking about what happened. What are you doing today? I did put a link in the chat for everyone to join us on stage. And I want to make sure. Oh, and Guy Pierce is here. Welcome. Bill, William Rochelle is here. Love that you're here, my friend. Great to see you as always. Check him out. Bill's got a great YouTube channel and following. He does great shows. Leslie Flowers is another person who does great shows. Great to see you as always. Nick, our wonderful publisher, that if you're looking to do a book, reach out to Nick. Oh, and here comes Lulu. Sorry. Um, and okay, I think I hit everybody there. All right, so we have one guest here on stage. I'm going to bring him on here, Melissa. We have our friend who is a new, reoccurring guest. Sorry, there. Let me get him back on there. Who has been here before? But Gregory, Happy New Year! Welcome on stage. Please tell us what are your thoughts about the chaos in the new year when you have a goal. What have you done? What's a takeaway you got from here? Or what question do you have? Over to you.
Yeah, I have a post in mind in terms of what's my goals for this upcoming year. I give you a little insight. The two words that I am focused on in this new year is one is change and two is revolution. You would have to read the post. I have a post in mind. You have to read it before I dive into more details about it and stuff. And my question I have is basically an HR type of question because I just got my chaos moment right now. I basically put in an application for a HR admin type of job. It's government related, and they want me to, on my own dime, to get my family doctor to do 2 mental health assessment write-ups, as well as a requisite to an EKG, since I am over the age of 40, and the person who basically told me that my organs are deteriorating and you need to have an EKG at when you're over the age of 40 per se, as well as a optometrist testing on all on your own dime. Plus, I told them that I am neurodiverse and they have workplace accommodation. So they basically said on your own dime that you need to have a psycho education assessment all on your own dime. A lot of people in my networking hole is saying that this is basically red flag material because people in people who are applying for positions should not be funding the hiring process. This is a part of the hiring process, and I'm just looking for input to see if these are red flags to my corresponding people within my own network, and as such, do not go through this type of situational type of behavior per se. So yeah, so that's my I had my chaos moment at that juncture time at this particular moment. So yeah, so that's my 5 cents on this and stuff. So yeah.
So I think that that's definitely a challenging situation. My first question to you is this. In the interview, did you request the accommodation and share your medical history?
Yes.
Okay. So if you did that, that is there's a problem. This is what I'm going to make an educated guess or educated assumption on here without having all the facts. But when someone asks for accommodation, whether it is as a current employee or as a someone who is looking to join the company, it's up to them to provide the medical background and documentation for that accommodation. So asking you to go provide what you need is on you to go to your doctors and get that documentation that you need for that accommodation, because it's a request that you're making. It's not something that they're requesting and requiring per se. In order for them to make the accommodation, they need some documentation showing that. So because you brought it up in the interview, I think it's very odd for them to ask for all of that. I've never heard someone asking for so much in the interview process, but if there is a serious accommodation that they have to make because of what you requested, they might need it. So that is not uncommon. Whenever I had someone who asked for accommodation, I said, okay, this is a good with your doctor. This is what I need. Here are the forms. I need a letter saying this and telling me what you can and cannot do and what are the restrictions you have. And they had to go make those appointments. We didn't pay for them. They paid it on their own. They came back, and then we were
Wow.
accommodation.
Yee.
Well, and honestly, Gregory, to not to interrupt Felipe, but this is very common. I did background screens for a decade. There are different requirements all over the United States, and Canada is going to be different. But anytime you say government to me, they're going to have physical requirements like getting an assessment done that you can run, skip, hop, whatever it is. They do stress tests on you because you are in a high stress environment and there is a risk to your health. Same kind of qualifications for being a firefighter or military or police. You are going into high risk situations. Your body needs to be able to rise to that challenge. And so I can see where it would be important. Now, in the military, they can put you in certain roles that would accommodate some of those shortcomings. Like if you could not run, I have hip issues, for example, I can't do the running. Now, if I qualified initially and then lost my ability to run, they have the criteria and they would put me at a desk job and I would be able to use my other skill sets. But they would not choose to bring new recruits in at that same level of disability because they need the best of the best to protect. And they advertise that clearly. And so that's where I think there's some dilemma. There are some industries that require they give you the money back. Some healthcare organizations require shots or like tuberculosis testing for working with people in high risk environments, nursing homes, and that sort of thing. Sometimes they will reimburse you after you've been hired. I've seen organizations require you to buy a uniform. That is something that has to be out of your pocket, but they're mandating you have anyway. Fast food restaurants do it constantly. So I don't think it's a unique situation. I think it feels very personal, but you have to then do your research on who is taking care of those fees, who are not, and would it align with you? Because
They're not reimbursing.
I understand, but that means you have to walk away and find a role that would reimburse you because you have that choice, but they're not going to have to accommodate your budget also. And that's the hard part, guys. They can give you all of the things to accommodate your needs, but they do not financially have to make you secure. That is not their role until you're hired and in the role where they negotiated that pay. And that's the hard part to accept before the job is yours.
And the other, Melissa makes up a good point, Gregory. Depending on the industry, government, if it's a job that they do all this testing for, and it's common practice for them to do testing, that's something that is going to be specific. If you went to an HR job at banking, they probably would not require all that documentation. They would just probably require, like when I was in banking and I had that example I gave you, I just said, here's the forms, send them to your doctor. What accommodations do you need, and give us the guidelines as to how to accommodate you. That's what I needed. I needed to know what it was to see if it was reasonable, and we were able to do it for him. Now, again, a government job, like Melissa said, might have certain standards that they apply to everyone, and everyone's got to pass it. And if they can't pass it, then that's going to be something that they need a doctor's note saying why. So it might be the type of job that you're applying for government-wise that is got more requirements around this. But legally, they are being compliant and requiring documentation, and it is common for you to pay for it. So I hope that was helpful, Gregory. I know it's not probably the answer you wanted, but we do have some situations sometimes that we don't like, and sometimes that's just a sign that it's not the right place to work. So,
And
got
I'm
here.
with, I gotta say, Felipe, there are jobs I would love to have. I would be great at the CIA because I can do research like crazy after a decade in background screens, but I don't qualify. Right. And that's unfortunate. And there's jobs out there that wouldn't hire me because I'm not a degreed professional. I'm not mad at them for that. I wish they would consider experience in lieu of, but they're not my people if they don't. And I understand that. I can't force them to change. I wish they would. I can, keep being vocal about the fact that I'm a rock star without a degree. But it's up to them to catch up to where I am, and I don't need to play below my playing field. And that's something I think is a mindset, right? Going back to your slide, Felipe was at number 4. Instead of why me, what now? It goes back to, instead of going, why aren't they helping? We go, what do we do next? Well, we go to a company that advertises they help cover these things, that celebrates the things that we celebrate. Because as much as we want to be change agents, it's hard to change from the outside of the building. You have to get in the door. And so find the least path of resistance to get in so you can be the person making that ripple happen from the inside. And you got to find the people who would empower you to do it. Not every business is going to want Melissa Houston there. I'm just going to ruffle feathers. I'm going to poke Felipe in his forehead with questions, figuratively, of course, but really pushing back on that leadership. And not all leadership enjoys being pushed. They want people to say, yes, sir, and file the paperwork. I'm not that girl. I do both.
I love what Jocelyn said. Is that the candidate always has a choice if the employer is a good fit, and that's I when I hire somebody, I write them a note at every place I've ever worked, and at the end of it, I said, "Thank you for choosing us as your employer," because yeah, I made the offer, but they chose us as their employer, and it's a two-way thing. So, and I also wanted to highlight something that Sumana mentioned here. She said, Felipe, one thing I'll say is, don't say yes to anything that comes your way. Set a bar for yourself. Set a standard and a bar for yourself. And I think that's important advice for all of us. Is that I get it. When there are moments where I just need to pay the bills, okay, go get that job at the ice cream shop, at Starbucks, whatever you need to do to pay the bills. That's fine. But don't stop looking for that job that you need. And if you're not in that situation, set that bar for what you deserve. Melissa was, this is one of the things that my wife was very happy about that Melissa said when we're talking about the pay that I was looking for. And Melissa's like, no, you are worth more than that. Don't under or short change yourself. And that's what my wife was saying, the same thing. I was in my head. I was like, well, I just need to get a job. And like, okay, no, I don't just need to get any job right now. Right now, I need to get the right job. If a year from now I don't have a job, I might have to get any job, and that's okay. But right now, today, set that bar and set it high and shoot for what you deserve. And I think that's great advice for everyone because everyone adds value. Everyone has skills that will benefit a company. You just gotta find that right company.
And
So
I want to give the piece of advice that Felipe is talking about because when I ask always like, what's your low, what's your middle, what's your high? And the truth is, it's a Venn diagram. It is. You're going to tell me you're low, and I'm going to ignore it. You're going to tell me you're high, and I'm probably going to ignore that. But that center number is your bottom number now. I eliminate your low value, immediately move you right into where you need to be in the overlap. And that's all I did for him is I just listened and said, nope, this is now the center where you start from. And guys, do the same for you. What is the lowest?
to hear that, you all. I've been doing this for 31 years. I give that advice to people almost every other day. But like and they say, the doctors are the worst patients, whatever. Coaches are the worst, people to coach themselves because they don't, we want to coach other people. So going to someone like Melissa who can coach me when I needed it, that was something that sometimes you got to put your pride aside and say, yeah, I might be a coach, but I still need coaching.
And I got to be honest, Sumana, her name just popped up again. I have reached out to Sumana and talked to her. Why? Because I knew Felipe and I knew that they were friends like we're friends. And I was like, hey, we're kind of like sisters anyway. Like you're the stepsister from the other family over there on that show, which is one of my favorites, by the way. And I don't say that just to elevate them. I really do enjoy that show. even if Felipe's on it. But don't be scared to reach out to your connections. If you see these others in the chat group, if you see Felipe showing up with people consistently, and you've heard them talk on the show about their skill set, whether it's, Sajith Kumar, who's also a recruiter and gives out great career advice, or if it's Aaron Gibson, who's going to help you figure out your video montage to capture attention, or whatever it is, right? Don't be scared to talk to the people that are out there, because not everybody's going to find your post. I have 15,000 followers, and maybe 1% of them gets to see each post. That's just the reality of the internet. If I go to the DMs, 100% capture rate, at some point they're coming back, right? Barring any outside factors of death, or, they just shut down LinkedIn and give up for life on resolution day, you're going to get a response. And that is a one-on-one conversation. And that is what changes your life every single time. That is the only thing that'll change your life, is getting one-on-one with the human. And so figure out how to do that more. That's where I'm at. Felipe?
Absolutely. I love what Jocelyn said here. You always have to reinvent yourself as a candidate. Yeah. The person that you were 10 years ago, don't bring that person to the interview today. You got to look at what you've done in the past 10 years. You've done stuff. You've gained knowledge. You've gained skills. And I also love what Sumana said here. Oh my God.
I'm giggling because I applied it to it's a good show, even if Felipe's on it. And I know that's not what she meant. That's what I'm going with. And so I'm sorry, Sumana, but I'm going to own it. And that's where I'm taking that.
No, but here, the comment that Sumana made here was, where'd it go? Working in jobs that are below your skill may negatively impact your health. And I think that's important to think about, because I've always said I have no problem going to get a job at a Starbucks or at a hotel as a concierge just to get a paycheck. But if I stayed there, I would start feeling like, okay, I can do so much more than this, and I'm not doing it. And I'm going to start feeling like I have these. It's like having arms and not being able to use them.
If you were a concierge, I would make your life miserable. Don't you ever in your life, because I'm coming to stay at the hotel. I need Felipe to help.
One of my retirement ideas was, if I had to work somewhere, I would love to be a concierge at a hotel, because concierges don't get yelled at. They get thanked all the time. They plan.
I'm coming to stay.
What?
I'm going to come stay. We're going to change all of what you're saying right now. I'm coming. Right. I'm going to be the biggest Karen you've ever had. Don't you?
I'm either going to be at a hotel retiring or in a cabin with my wife. One of the two. We'll see. But
I'm going to ask her vote, and that's my vote for you.
Okay. Well, listen.
Also, Sumana, big hearts. I see her other comment, and, I'm glad we could chat. Always.
Well, good. I hope you do, because you two, I think, are great people, and you two have been there for me. I think you all would be great friends. And yeah, Sumana, Sumana's another person that shows up when she's going through stuff. She still shows up for others, and I think it's part of what makes her special is she is able to share so much valuable data information, but it's also because she's lived through some of it too, and she can relate. And I think that's the thing that you and I, Melissa, do, is that we can relate to people because we've been through it. Oh, shit. Oh, wait.
Are you okay?
Sorry, my mic, I hit my mic cord and it just went out. And so I think the fact that we're being real, that we share our ups and downs. This show is not about fluff and everything's always perfect. No, we give you the real deal here, y'all. And we hope that it provides value and that you all have some takeaways. So, share in the comments, what was the one takeaway that you think was valuable for you or for anyone, or a takeaway that you might share with somebody else, because I think that's important. And I want to highlight one more thing that Jocelyn said here about also know your non-negotiables going in. That's so important. Do not go in there if there's something that is violating a value, something important for you. It's going to slowly start picking away at you and start bothering you more and more. So those non-negotiables, stay true to them. And make sure you don't have too many non-negotiables. You all don't have like 15 non-negotiables. You want to have the important ones in hand.
I have at least 15 on my list currently. I'm not gonna lie. One of them is they have to like sunsets, so they don't have to be.
Oh my God.
Wait, no, hold on. There's value there because I spend my morning and evening in that space. And so you pick your non-negotiables. Don't let anybody bully you into how many you're allowed to have or not have.
No, I have a question for you. If you tell me
Yeah.
you're interviewing with me and you say, "Do you like sunsets?" I'm like, I can take them or leave them. You know,
Well, listen, yes, in careers, but the truth is this is a whole bit of chaos that we talked about. You're for career choosing, yes, but also relationships and picking the business
all
and
right.
doing all of the things, right?
Do you say no to a job offer because the interviewer said they didn't like sunsets?
No, but I would say no to my next partner if they didn't like
Okay,
sunsets. So
that
it depends on how they're
part,
taking the
I get
show.
that.
You're in your mindset for careers. I'm in my mindset for relationships. But the truth is, non-negotiables are in every aspect of your life. So
That's true.
make the list, figure it out, and it can be anything you want. They can love pickle juice as much as you. If that is the non-negotiable, if you're going to have a pickle party once a month, put it on the list. It's the
Just to make
thing.
vegetables are different for your personal life and your career because you don't want the sunsets and the pickles coming into the career.
I
And
watch sunsets at work every day with my team, Felipe. That's what I mean. It depends on the person. At Cycle Gear, we have the most beautiful sunset scene because it's all glass. So while we're standing there looking at motorcycles in the sunset, we all go outside and take pictures of motorcycles and
I get
clouds.
it. I love sunsets, but I
I
don't
love arguing with you
turn down.
also. But guys, do it your way is the answer. Felipe wouldn't do it our way. I would. So figure it out for you. What do you got going on this weekend?
Uh, Today we are going to. So we do a weird thing here. We take down all the Christmas decorations after January 6th. But my wife one year was like, it's still winter, so anything that was white, we left up. So our living room is all white with lights and white stuff, and all the Christmas stuff we're packing away and putting in the shed today. And we're just gonna kind of relax and enjoy a quiet day because yesterday we celebrated my niece, my sister, and my niece's boyfriend's son's birthday, and we had a lot of fun. And I just want to give you an example of protecting your energy. I had 15 people in my house yesterday celebrating this birthday. Um, Dinner wasn't going to be ready for another 45 minutes. And I was just not feeling, it right at that moment. I said, you know what? I'm going to go upstairs and lay down for a little bit. I laid down for about half an hour, took a little nap, and I came back down and I was energized. We played games, we had fun. So sometimes protecting your energy means knowing when to step away for a little bit and come back. Just don't do the Irish exit and not come back, you all. That's just rude.
What you want? This Irish girl goes, let's go. I can do this. We can dance on the way out. You want to do a little Irish jig? We could do that. Listen, don't be scared to move in what moves you is my thought. But this weekend, that's what I'm doing. Actually, I gotta fill out some paperwork, guys. The one that says, "Hey, I'm sorry, but this is done now," paperwork, and so gonna work on that slowly but surely. I'm also enjoying the rain, Felipe. It is pouring rain today. And so I'm going to open up some windows and I'm going to water my plants and I'm going to do self care today. But, guys, if you need coaching, we're both ready to talk. If you guys want to do it with him, you message him. If you want to coach with me, you message me. If you want both of us to come in, we could do that. Um, Maybe you want us to argue over you. we can live and in person, but follow both of us, please. We have a lot of big plans for this show, for our other shows that we do separately. I do mine on Saturdays. Social Saturday is something he does right after my show. I love that show as well. Not really because of him, but the chaos that brings all of the fun. But guys, Saturday's a big party time. I start at 6 a.m. We go for 2 hours. I pick a different topic each week. Life coaching, mindset coaching. You can find me on YouTube. Go play the old stuff. It's worth listening to. Felipe's been on there too. And then I'm coming back next, 2 weeks from today, Felipe? Or are we coming back at the end of the month? And we need a topic, guys. We came up with this one, but we would love to know what you would like us to cover next. I am offering new clients only a $100 clarity session. That is a game changer. I can tell you, I've never had a customer not happy with the resolve they come out with, the energy, the clarity, the hope, and the to-do list. And so figure it out if you need it. I'm there. And Felipe, what's your offer right now? What are you offering to businesses and humans?
Well, before we offer, we have a last minute
Oh,
guest.
hey, I know that bubble.
Stage. Mr. Gibson, welcome. It's always great to see you, my friend. How are you today?
I'm doing absolutely fabulous and just happy to hear you guys again, kicking off this chaotic new year.
Do you
Well,
hear his mic quality? I need that mic.
I know I like literally, well, that's why I seen, oh, can you come up? Yeah, sure. I'll come up. I'm looking for your mic.
can,
Yeah,
can you send a link to your mic? Because you have an awesome mic and my mic sucks grass.
I
Actually,
know.
Felipe, I think you and I have the same mic. It's the Yeti, the
Oh,
blue
you have
Yeti.
The
Yeah.
Yeti what?
It's just called the blue Yeti. There's
Yeti.
the blue globe, or sorry, yeah, the blue globe, which is the one I'm trying to find for you. That was like my first mic. It's same kind of quality. Like I love not sponsored by, but I've loved my mic, and it's been very good to me.
Well, I love my mic too, and so I do have the Blue Yeti, but I think it's just getting old because the connections keep on getting disconnected, and it's just looking a little shaggy. And so you have the Glow one. Is that the one you have?
It's by Blue. I will send you guys pictures after.
Okay.
It's by Blue, but it's called the Yeti microphone
All right. All right.
Okay.
because I'm a little bit of a Sasquatch.
Well,
I'm excited because, guys, this is the stuff that we tap into our network for. We want to improve our stuff all the time, too, live in front of you because his voice sounds better. We know it. Anyway, Aaron, thank you for coming on stage. What did you like about the show?
Oh my God. You guys, you hit on so many great factors that are hitting so many right now. And the big thing that I was asking questions about, which was you guys have the steps, but how does one deal with, again, the overwhelming, like you've literally been smacked with the shock of losing your job? That can be overwhelming at times. How do you start to, and in my case, I started to compartment, sweet Mary Mother of Pearl, I started to compartmentalize my feelings and emotions. Like it was like that, those first few steps you were talking about is like, okay, how do we separate ourselves from what we need to focus on to move forward, and how do we just put our emotions off to the side? Because it's a step, but it's not as easy as it sounds. How would you guys start to approach that first initial shock so that they can start approaching your guys' steps?
that's a great question. Like I said, the grieving, the mourning, like let yourself feel it. Like I'll be honest, I cried twice. I cried once by myself, and then when my CEO was telling me that the team wants to do a farewell thing for me before I go, and would that be okay? I got emotional, and I was like, I don't know if that needs to be done. Like they want to do it for you. Um, I grieved. I got mad. I was sad, and I sat with myself for a few hours, and I told myself I was going to give myself one day to let myself just be sad and grieve and pity and all those feelings that you say you're not supposed to feel. I let myself feel them all, and then I got up and I started making phone calls because I realized when I just sit there and think about it, it just gets worse and worse and worse. And I just get my hamster wheel in my head, and the hamster wheel won't stop spinning. So the only way to get it to stop spinning is by getting off my ass and start making lists, start making phone calls, start writing down what I want to do, and start taking action. Stop thinking about it and start doing it. But that first day, whether it's 4 hours, the whole day, whatever you need, take that day just to let yourself feel everything. If you need to hit a punching bag, if you need to cry in a pillow, if you need to hug your dog, whatever you need to do it, get it all out, because then you can focus. Houston, what is your advice?
Oh, I love all of that. Slow down to speed up was the first thing I was going to say when Aaron asked the question, right? We just slow down and figure it out. You have to assess. You can assess if you're going 100 miles an hour. And so pause, pull over, and really just tap into yourself and what's going on. And then the other part is like, yeah, cry it out if that's what it is. Emotional women's status, right? There's a reason we feel this way, and it's valid, and you're allowed to process that. The emotional response is going to come whether you're ready or not. And so if you can actually assess the emotions before they respond on your behalf, you do a lot better. And so I think about my grandmother all the time in this, and really she reminds me so much of Scarlett O'Hara from Gone with the Wind. And so I activate that inner Scarlet and I just say, I can't think about that right now. I'll think about it tomorrow. And once I've felt as much of it as I need to, I've uncorked the bottle, I let it spray, I did the thing, I took the Jack in the Box and put it back in the box. I put it down and I just say that to myself and I do it with a smile because there was so much power in that moment of I just can't keep thinking about it right now because it's the what now mentality, right? And so then that documentation and action. Write it down and get to work. If you know you have stuff you can do to change it, do that once the emotions are done emoting. And it really does change the game. It's how we're going to move the needle. The Kool-Aid man gave us this false narrative that he was going to jump into our house and just break down the walls and take us with him. And that's really not how it works. You have to go find it. And so do what you need to do, rest often. Even athletes, Olympic athletes take rest. The marathon runners who run for 36 days sleep and eat during that time. They just plan as they go. And so I think that's what we need to do to be rock stars also.
And one more thing I'll say that's really important, accept it. Accept what has happened. Don't try to figure out how to change it. If it's a breakup, if it's a job loss, if it's a diagnosis, accept it. Because if you don't accept it, you're going to be stuck. So, Aaron, I hope that helped answer your question there. Did you have anything else you wanted to share?
No, I always like to ask you guys the questions. I know that you guys are so qualified to answer. So it's a little bit more just showcasing you guys because I appreciate you both so much.
God bless you, man. We appreciate you. You are the ultimate hype man. I swear, you really are. You are. Talk about support and lean on support. Aaron is somebody that when you lean on him, he's there to support you. And I hope you know that we're there for you too, my friend. So thank you for joining us. As far as for me, what I have coming up, Sumana Juddy and Ashley Flellan and I have the Workplace Wellness Hour coming back in 2026, a week from Monday. And we're going back and forth about talking about, the career crisis that's happening, especially with the millennials, or maybe talking about the value of passive income since jobs are so unstable. A lot of us do passive incomes on the side, and maybe that's a topic. So let me know in the comments or DMs if you think that passive income during an unstable job market or dealing with the job crisis with especially the younger generations coming into the job market. Let me know which one of those appeals to you. And then I'll be here on Saturday with the Social Saturday chat crew as always. And we're going to be doing our, I think, I forget the topic now, but it'll be a good one. So come join us for that. And if you wouldn't mind, Convenient Consulting is up and running, and we have been for years now, but I'm being a little more active now. So if you have any services that you need or know of anybody that does need services, feel free to share, scan my QR code, send them to my LinkedIn homepage, and I'll be happy to talk to them. And if I could ask you to do me one more favor, if you wouldn't mind, if you're not already subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's where I house all the shows that we do here with Workplace Wellness Hour. With the Careercast and Coaching. I also house Workplace Wellness Hour and other things I do. I have Fluidbase 5 there. So please, feel free to subscribe to that. And I will be sharing Fluidbase 5 in the carousel probably tomorrow so that you all have that information there as well. But with that, Houston, thank you for being an amazing co-host, an amazing friend, an amazing coach, and just an amazing human being. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you back. And Bill, we're so sorry. I just saw his comment. His dog just passed.
Oh, no.
My heart goes out to you. I will be in touch. I'll give you a few just to process, but I will be reaching out. Guys.
Chaos ensuing when you don't expect it. And
every time. And it stinks because sometimes it seems like it all happens at once, but I gotta be honest, if you're going to dry erase board, wipe it for me. That's where I want to be. And that's not for everybody, but when it feels heavy, just know the more that clears out at once, the more that's coming back in. right? And that's how it opens. That when God shuts a door, he opens a window or whatever it is. I don't know. Just stay in prayer, stay surrounded by people who care. Bill, I will be in touch. I'm sure Felipe will too. So sorry.
Loss of a pet is like losing a family member. Look, I'm here operating with it right now, just thinking about you, Bill. I know he's been sick lately, and that you knew he wasn't doing well, but loss sucks. I'm going to say something that might be a little controversial here, but I was never a fan of getting a dog after my previous dog passed away. I needed time, which I think is common for a lot of people. But Storm passed away on Thanksgiving, and we got Copper 2 weeks later because we rescued him from somebody that couldn't take care of him anymore, and Copper was just suffering. I was really against it. Obviously, I cannot imagine my life without Copper. I'm bringing this up because of this. When people have pets they love, they have so much love to give. I'm saying this because there's so many pets out there right now that need a home, that if you have a lot of love to give, there's a pet out there that needs love. So there's rescue pets everywhere. I'm just saying it might be too soon, Bill, right now for you, but it is something that when you have that much love to give, when the time's right, I think another pet is definitely deserving of that love, and there's a lot out there that need it. So I'll stop there. Houston, I'll see you in 2 weeks, and we'll see all of you all in 2 weeks. And thank you, everyone that joined us in the chat. We really appreciate Guy and Lisa and Aaron and Ernest and Adrian and Bill, Sean, John Werner, Sumana, my friend. Thank you. Who else do we have here?
I have an idea. Can I drop it on you real quick?
And Jocelyn, thank you. Yes, go ahead.
What if I have you compile like 4 of your coaching friends, people who do career specifically, and then I like speed date question present to all of you things that either the audience gives us or things that I prompt myself, knowing the industries and what we're looking at. And you guys answer on an episode of Careers, Chaos, and Coaching.
I like that idea. That might take some time to get people together, but I like the idea. So it'd be like a coaching panel, and you would be the moderator.
Yeah, because Guy says he would love to jump on an episode. I'm thinking Sumana. I'm thinking some of the other people we know, like Sajith Kumar. I mean, we're already almost there, right? It doesn't take long to do that. Lauren might even come back to LinkedIn for this. But what if we got a roundtable together, and then I could present some chaotic questions, a little bit of fun, a little bit of everything, but really I get to know the roundtable of coaches in our inner circle who do great work. We can put our stamp on and allow our network to take advantage.
I think it's brilliant. I love the idea. All right. Well, let us know in the chat if you think it's a good idea, because I think we're going to start working on it.
And then submit questions if you guys have some popping in your head already. Let's start collecting them.
Yeah. All right. Well, great start to the new year, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for the wonderful comments and all the support. I do appreciate that. And Melissa and I appreciate all of you all for joining us here every 2 weeks. Send us a chat, send us a DM, and let us know what topics you want us to cover. Come back in 2 weeks for another episode of Careers, Chaos, and Coaching. And thank you for all your wonderful support. We will see you in 2 weeks. And Houston, I will talk to you soon.
Okay, bye, guys. Take care.
Adios, everyone.
In the morning light, I'm chasing dreams, navigating through the office streams. Deadlines looming, emails piling high, wondering if I'm reaching for the sky or just passing by. The world outside, it's a swirling storm, chaos in the streets, a daily norm. But inside my mind, I'm seeking peace, a way to balance, a moment to seize. Careers, chaos, and coaching too. Finding the path, what else can we do? Observing closely, learning as we go. Making decisions, let our wisdom show. Through the storms and the calm, we'll find our way. With every challenge, we'll learn to say, we've got the strength, we've got the grace to face the world and find our place. Oh, 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 oh. upon meetings, voices in my head, strategies and plans, where do they lead instead? I take a breath, step back to see the bigger picture, what's meant to be. Coaching sessions, a guiding light, helping me focus, setting things right. With every word, a new perspective gained. In the game of life, it's not about the pain. Careers, chaos, and coaching too. Finding the path, what else can we do? Observing closely, learning as we go. Making decisions, let our wisdom show. Through the storms and the calm, we'll find our way. With every challenge, we'll learn to say, we've got the strength, we've got the grace to face the world and find our place. In the quiet moments, I find my voice. In the chaos, I make my choice to lead with kindness, to act with care, to be the change, to show I'm aware. Careers, chaos, and coaching too. Finding the path, what else can we do? Observing closely, learning as we go. Making decisions, let our wisdom show. Through the storms and the calm, we'll find our way. With every challenge, we'll learn to say, we've got